Hi, it's Wendy. I'm responding today to some questions that were asked in my online learning community, and I want to give an answer. The questions basically, the way I'm going to answer it is boils down to how do you use the principles of quantum physics and consciousness to achieve something you want to achieve that maybe you don't think is possible. And the way that I would answer that is it doesn't matter what the thing you want is. The process towards it is the same if you're working on it through consciousness. And that is, here's a little picture that I drew. When we start off with an idea of I would like to do or have or be or achieve something, just fill in the blank right now with the something that you want. Where we start off sitting in relation to that is thinking, here I am, this little me, little old me, so far from this thing that I want. And as far as I understand it, all the work to use quantum physics and the physics of our being to achieve that outcome is by over time working through the layers that create the sense of separation between me and that thing. And this is actually why I made the Big Brain Change program, which is now available as a standalone program in my store, is that it allows a person, I wanted to choose, people to choose something specific and then gradually work through what I identified were 30 really significant shifts that we all need to make in order to move through these layers so that we land up in a completely different experience of ourselves when these things aren't present, and a completely different relationship to that outcome that pulled us through all of them. Because I, as an individual, think that it's me, and this is the nature of these patterns. Let's choose the one, for example, one really common one is I don't deserve it, I'm not worthy of it. Or another really common one is everybody else can do this but not me. And so let's say I'm sitting here right now and there's something I want that I don't have, and my life right now, this moment, is going to bring up into my awareness the specific pattern that's the next one for me to move through. It's going to bring it up as a thought in my mind like, oh, I've tried this before and it doesn't work. So that thought has a feeling associated with it, it's a sensation in the body. It's the way that the physics of our being interprets this layer of the human experience. And then when I identify with that, I think, oh, this is about me. It creates a whole experience of I am having, I am separate from this thing and I don't deserve it. Or, I've tried this before, that a feeling of hopelessness kind of thing. And that's why, I created this 5 steps of the In Deeper process to help people identify when a field like that is showing up in your presence. It's like when you focus on that thing and you want it, all of life is saying, yes, yes, move towards it. We want this too. Your body is saying, here's the piece that you need to move through in order to take, the next step physics-wise towards having that thing. And so the resistance or the feeling that comes up, the thing to do is just to be able to sense it, recognize, that it's just part of the field. It isn't about me. I mean, this is the amazing thing about being human, is we think everything's about me. That when I think, oh, I can look at other people and they've done this thing, but not me, that's actually part of the structure that gives us this amazing experience of being human and separate from each other when we're not. And so anyway, the In Deeper process is designed to help you recognize when you've come in contact with one of those fields, and to be able to be outside it, because you can sense the location of it in your body, and then feel it evaporate, and then you're moving through it to the next piece. And my sense is that every single one of us has something, maybe some things over time that are just so important to us, that just keep calling us forward, that we cannot resist wanting. And the purpose of those things is to help us move through these layers in ourselves so that we can become human without all of this. And you know, it's really hard to imagine what it's like to be in a state of being that you haven't experienced yet. You know, to use the example, it's hard to imagine what it would be like to be you, maybe without doubting yourself, or without having any sort of internal noise or criticism, or, you know, all the stuff that you carried forward from the past, because you can only imagine what that would be like through all the layers that are currently present for you. And so, well, I don't want to go into that. But this is always the work, is that always your life will bring up, when you focus on the something that you want, the next piece inside you of layer of energy field or emotion to work on. And so just in terms of what I offer, like I said, the Big Brain Change, for those that love do it yourself, it's a guided process over, I think it's actually 7 months long. Every couple weeks you get the next piece to work with. And the people that took that program before, you know, when it was part of my PhD study, said they felt so different afterwards, and the you know, the relationship to the thing that they had, the goal they had wanted to work towards, had completely changed. And so that's actually one way of working, using my work to do that. The other, of course, is my online learning community. You're welcome to be in there and ask questions about specifically what you're dealing with right now. And I'll help you identify, you know, what is it that you're feeling, and what can you do to move beyond that layer. And you can watch that happen with other people as I talk them through, and they feel the support of the group, which if you're in there, you're already seeing that. The other thing is that these fields are common. Like I said, we think it's me, you know, that feels small and, you know, self-critical and all of this, but you can put my face in here, you can put your face in here, you can put the person next to you's face in here. As you do this work in consciousness, you're moving through, we're all moving through these same patterns, because they're common to all of us. They give us they're what they give us the experience, or have given us the experience of being separate and small when we're not. And so that's why too, in January, I'm starting some new small group programs where we'll work together with whatever pattern is coming up for anyone on any given day, and we'll see commonalities between them, and together, you know, we'll work together to shift through those pieces over the course of the program, 6 months long. So if you're interested in that, the application form's on my website. The dates are starting January 16th, 17th, something like that. And so again, by the end of that program, you'll have moved through a number of these layers that you might not be able to put words to on your own. And that's actually the advantage of working with someone like myself that is able to, like, understands them, put them into words to kind of tease them out from the background of what's going on in the, you know, the mix of your undifferentiated internal experience, tease it out, and then move beyond it, and then notice the change that you feel within yourself. And the more that you do this, the less you start to identify with these specific patterns that you think are part of your personality or say something about you. Every time you shift through one of those, you then get less attached to the next one that shows up. And of course, you know, in my one-to-one work with that, I'm able to work specifically, you know, with a person's particular thing that they're dealing with, the exact subject that they're working on, and help them find their own unique particular way of working with these fields within themselves, so that it's like tweaks of the In Deeper process that feel more natural to their being, and that use maybe slightly different language and draw from their experience in working with inside themselves, maybe using or incorporating other techniques or ways of thinking that they've brought from the past. So hopefully that answers some of the questions that were asked, and if not, consider this a conversation starter that we can pick up and carry on from here. And thank you so much for asking. Bye.